Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 28th episode of the Oblivion Oath. I'm your host and GM for this adventure, Jason Bulmahn. And before we get started here today, I just have one or two announcements. First of all, tickets for PaizoCon 2020 are on sale right now. You can go to Paizo.com and pick up tickets to this fantastic event where you will get to see all of us probably playing more Oblivion Oath in front of a crowd. It'll be great. And you get to see all of our awesome special guests like Kate Baker and Damian Mamalidi. So go get your tickets right now. They're sure to sell out pretty quick. So go get your tickets to PaizoCon. The second announcement I have is that this is the third to last episode of Season 1 of the Oblivion Oath. So we got this episode, one more episode, and the final episode, three more. The last episode will be episode 30 of Season 1. We will be back for Season 2, but this wraps up the first part of our story, so it'll wrap up just before the Christmas break. We hope you have all enjoyed it, and stay tuned. We've got a lot of exciting adventure planned for the next year. All right, one last thing. Looks like Kemlak bought a hero point for Carina.
Woohoo!
So I'm going to go ahead and hand that out
thank
before we get
you.
started here. And I think that's about it. Everybody ready to play?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
We're playing the feud.
When we last left our intrepid band of adventurers, they were in the noble estate, the regal grounds of Lord and King Brightcrown. Gildebrand Brightcrown, the goblin ruler of these fair lands, who invited you into his noble house. You desperate travelers without a horse, in desperate need of help and aid in your traveling journeys. The king was excited to see you. He was excited to see an alchemist traveling in his lands, and invited you out to dinner. But it was at this this noble dinner that you learned that he has some prejudices about elves. He doesn't trust them. And you traveling with an elf led him to whisper into your ears that perhaps you should interrogate him, because obviously he is an elven spy. Seeing this coming together, Professor Nicodemus thought quickly on his feet and came up with a clever ruse to deceive the Goblin King, to give your elven scout, your elven Lastwall scout, a elixir of truth, to allow you to question him and satisfy the king's suspicions. Of course, under this intense, withering questioning, it was revealed that he had not been to Kainin in many years,
47.
and in fact, had nothing to do with Kainin or its government, as you all knew. But the king did not believe at first. Also, during this, you learned that, or rather, you had a number of encounters with Lady Gorb, the hopeful bride to be of King Brightcrown, who was very suspicious of the other women in the group, worried that they were going to attempt to steal the noble lord out from underneath her. You put her at ease and let her know that under no circumstances would that be happening. So all of this, though, was pretense for you negotiating for a horse to hitch up to your wagon to transport all of the goods and supplies and all of the records that you were transporting with you, because you're on your way to try and meet up with the retreating armies of Lastwall. For the lieutenant, this is so that he can report in. The order has been given to rally in Absalom. For the rest of you, though, it is to try and find out more about the strange and mysterious key that you cannot seem to get rid of. When we ended the adventure, you were having breakfast with the Goblin King, who was busy fishing hard-boiled eggs out of a pumpkin brine of some sort.
Yeah.
And with his bare hands. And he had his guards down in the yard escort out the horse that he was willing to trade to you, that he called the Bright Steed, which was a run-down, beat up old draft horse. Skin and bones it is. And I believe that's where we left off, with him being, I present to you the bright steed. And his guards just kind of walk out with this dejected look on their face, like, whatever. Yeah, I know. There's
almost as old as I am. That's saying something.
Not great for a horse.
in horse years, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's where we'll pick up. You are at breakfast with the king, Gildebrand Brightcrown, and you're kind of up on this battlement. It's a frosty, cold morning. There are torches around you, though, keeping the area warm, and you are just here enjoying your breakfast, overlooking the king's vast domain. This one clearing with its farms.
Pretty vast.
Yeah.
It's very vast. It's several miles in diameter.
Okay. That's
Very
nothing
nice.
to sneeze at.
What are
More
we
than I
on?
got.
Fair.
That kind of land in Seattle would cost you a mint. All right.
Too real.
Sorry. We come to role-playing games to escape our troubles. So,
Property price.
the goblin looks to you and says, "There is your noble steed."
Thank you so much, Your Honor, Your Highness. We will make good use of this fair and noble steed as we move onward out of your kingdom and, just sort of out of your hair.
And just as you finish that, you've never seen a horse cough before, but that horse just coughed.
Sure. Coughed up some dust.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm curious, does magic, like the divine magic of healing, count for this king's problems with magic? I mean, we don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You've never really asked. The sign outside said no magic, but you have no idea why. No one ever explained it to you, and apparently the king sees all. Mm-hmm. Whatever that means.
We haven't tried any yet, so.
Yeah, so now we have custody of the horse. Can I ask, so what's up with the no magic thing?
I have been super curious as well, so.
I'm just curious.
He's like, I see that you saw my sign and you have heeded it well, which is good because I can see all magic and I know that you haven't cast any.
Yeah.
We wanted
Indeed.
to make sure to follow your rules, because we're guests in your land.
Well, that is quite well. He looks at you and he says, well, you should know that I am untrustworthy of such things. There are deceivers in our midst, and everyone knows that, elves use magic.
Well, yes, it is a known fact that some elves do, yes. As do many people.
Yeah, didn't we know a goblin? No, you didn't. We did. No,
Yeah.
did you?
I didn't. I never
You
met
never
your
met
friend.
him.
Oh, yeah. So we actually know a goblin that did magic.
Yeah, he was really good at magic.
That's fascinating.
That seems like a spurious fairy tale, but, the stories from faraway lands are of interest to the Brightcrown. But that sounds scary, though. I'm glad he's not here. Although I could use a court wizard.
I thought you said you had a wizard that was abroad right now.
Oh, yes. I mean, another court wizard.
For when the other one's gone. That makes sense.
He looks
Like a spare wizard.
He looks down to the guard, and the guard's like, yes, the High Magistrix Gerald will be back soon. And he's like, yes, Gerald. Yes.
Magistrix.
Magistrix.
Yes.
Perfect.
Cool.
He is out researching powerful magics.
Which I'm sure will come to great benefit to you and your kingdom here.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So we have many miles to travel, Your Highness. So I think we should be on our way. Yes, company?
Agreed.
Let us
Definitely.
hitch up our horse, our newfound.
So we kind of skipped the negotiations, but there is a
True.
period of point in time where you
Yes.
end up bargaining with him for a bunch of potions and
I've got some
reagents.
anti-plague.
Pumpkins?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and mark off
Sure.
5 gold. Actually, you know what? Give me a diplomacy check. Let's see how well you do
Let's see.
in bargaining this guy out.
Diplomacy. 10.
Oof.
right, make it 10 gold pieces worth of.
Sure,
you can just take that right out of money. That's fine because
yeah.
your wagon is filled with reagents and stuff, and you can mix up a bunch of potions for him. And we're not going to belabor the point. It might take you a day or something. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Right. But you managed to satisfy the king's bargain, and he's like, very good, yes. And so you ask him if you may leave, and he's like, of course, you may go at your leave, and you are always welcome in the kingdom of Brightcrown.
I narrow my eyes at him.
He looks at you. Yeah, I guess you're all right.
Well, I hope our travels take us this way once more in the future so that we may see how your kingdom continues to prosper.
Yes, of course. And the crown thanks you for divulging the location of such a valuable treasure. We shall be appropriating it for the crown post haste. And he kind of looks to the guard, and the guard's like,
Sure.
I'll get to it.
yeah, it's a living.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's grab some pumpkins on the way out.
Let's.
Just they last for a long time.
Okay.
So-
If we have that thrown in with our horse deal,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You can buy a couple pumpkins.
buy a couple pumpkins.
Lord's
They're-
Lords.
The Lord's
The
gold.
Lord's Gourds. He's like,
Supporting
that's a
local
great
business."
name.
You may have this,
He's like,
of course.
he's like, get that on a sign.
And we'll hitch up this bright steed and start heading out.
How does that go?
Okay, so the king gives you your leave, and you are escorted downstairs. The king stays up on the battlement, his cloak pulled about him, the wind blowing it as he stares out at all of you and out at his domain. Noble, regal he is, as he looks down on the broken down, beat up horse that you are hitching to your wagon.
I'm hoping it dies on the way out.
His
so-
eyes see far into the future.
I give this place 6 months.
You are being optimistic.
Yeah.
And so you go down to hitch this horse up to the wagon, and it takes a bit of work because your bridle doesn't really fit too well because it's so skin and bones. But you manage to get it to fit, and it kind of.
Do we need to assist the
Yeah, I
horse?
want to heal this horse or something.
I know. No, I mean do we need to help it pull the
Oh,
cart?
absolutely. That's not even a question.
It looks like it can pull the cart.
Okay.
Barely.
We were pulling it by ourselves before, so
Yeah, I mean,
technically
it
this
is
is
still
easier.
a horse. I mean, it's sickly, but it is still a horse.
Yeah.
Sort of vaguely wondering if my snake oil will just give it a little bit of pep. So it can ignore any of the,
Is it missing any hit points? Can I?
It doesn't. So anyone who has nature or medicine, you can make one check or the other.
No, I'll do medicine.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we
mine.
just need to feed it a lot.
Maybe I won't. I got an 11.
18.
Nice.
That's much better.
22.
Ooh.
So the horse looks old. I mean, that is certainly a part of its condition, but it just looks malnourished. I mean,
Okay.
it just doesn't look like it's been fed particularly well.
Does it want a pumpkin?
Actually, it kind of sniffs and turns its nose up. You're wagering that's all they've been feeding it lately.
Yeah.
You notice that the fields around here, that's all there is.
Yeah.
It's just pumpkin. And now that you think back to it, everything was pumpkin. I mean, there were eggs and there was meat. There's clearly some livestock and stuff. But of the fruits and vegetables, few and far between other than pumpkin.
There was lots of pumpkin going.
There was a few other
All right.
things. There's obviously some stuff stored away in a cellar. But, yeah, it looks like they might just be living off pumpkin for the winter.
We might be doing this horse a favor.
I think we're definitely doing this horse a favor.
I think so.
I think I'm going to pity feed it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, once we get something that's not pumpkin that I can eat.
Don't let the owlbear spook it. It might just drop dead, literally. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owlbear cub has been kind of wandering around, cute, stumbling about the yard. There are a few kids who have taken to playing with it from a distance because it is a murder beast. But you know.
Not my owlbear.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Not yet.
Far more cuddly.
Not yet.
All right. So you're able to hook the horse up and make your way.
Yeah.
As you make your way out the gate, the trumpeters do blow you a tune to send you on your way.
I'll wave back to the king.
And you just look back and he's up on the battlement, looking out far into the
dramatic.
distance.
Fantastic.
It looks like he may have in fact practiced this. Yeah.
I hope he did.
Yeah.
Very majestical.
Yeah.
No, he's-
Don't even think that's a word.
You can barely see him over the crenellation, but he's there.
Oh, you can see the crown though. It's a good 3 feet high.
Yeah, well, the crown is very high, and you can just see his head and his ears. So he's just, and the flap of his cloak.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Oh, I'm so glad to be out of here.
Carina, since you are the mightiest of thews among us, and did much of the pulling of the cart earlier, I feel it's only fair that you should either ride on the buckboard with me or sit in the back and take your rest for at least a day or two to just as thanks.
Let's see how the horse does.
Of course.
And then I'll determine whether or not I can get on the wagon.
so
As soon as we're out of the range of the king, I'm just gonna jump on the back and start pushing too.
yeah, so it's a little rough going at first. I'm not going to lie. The upside is in the back of your wagon you have feed
Oh yeah.
For Rosemary.
for your horse.
R.I.P. Rosemary.
Yeah, no, poor Rosemary. But you do have Rosemary's feed still on board.
Yeah,
So you actually have good food that isn't just pumpkin.
Yay.
So feeding the horse, you do see quite a bit more life out of it as the day goes on. And it's slow going. It's not much faster than when you were pulling it for now. But as the day goes on, the horse starts looking a bit better.
Good.
It's not usually how it works, but
Yeah.
Let's not
Well, it's
overdo
going
it.
slow, and we're stopping to feed it and water. I
and to be
imagine.
clear, you're going at the rate that you all were pulling
Yep.
it before. So
I'm
for a
fine with
horse,
that.
this is like a glacial pace. But by the end of the first day of travel, leaving behind, and you do see another sign, by the way, on the way out. And as you are getting there, there's a guard there, painting in hand with a simple brush, "Home of the Lord's Gourds."
Wow, they really like did
They're
that
just-
quick.
Yeah, no, they hop too.
Yeah, aggressive.
But you're able to depart and make your way back on the open road. The next few days are slow going, but with each day, the horse, the bright steed, gets back a bit more of its vigor, a bit more of its health, as you are able to feed it and properly care for it, and a little bit of curatives here and there, some magics and some potions here and there, just to keep it in good spirits. Certainly doesn't hurt. Your journey continues to take you south. You are now heading past to the north a forest called Seven Arches. Those who are familiar with this area know that that's not really an area you want to mess with.
Okay.
You want to kind of stay out of Seven Arches.
Okay. I'm gonna roll and double check that. Yeah, we want to stay out of. We want to stay out of there.
You're from around here, so you would know that. Fey haunted and
yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, we thought One Red Cap was bad. They have like parties over there.
Jeez.
They call them stompers,
yeah.
with all their boots. But the land that you are in continues to be pretty swampy and marshy. It alternates. You get periods where you're kind of in more of a hilly highland area where there is water running kind of in streams, but then you hit kind of more flat marshlands now and again. And you're making your way further and further south, and you must reckon that you're getting close to the point where you're going to have to find a ford or a ferry to cross over into either Kyanin or, I believe, Andoran. One or the other.
Okay.
I have to double check the map. Where's it Galt? I forget.
No, not golf.
Do we have a map in there?
I think we do. We've got at least a basic map.
I mean, I think we'd kind of thought we were gonna go through Kyanin so that we could tell him about the elf thing and,
crown and
see
the-
if we could get. Did
Yeah.
we want to try and sell the crown back, or?
If anything, we could probably hand it off just as a measure of goodwill, and they'd probably just...
Oh no, it's Galt. Yeah, it's either Kainen or Galt.
Oh,
Those
Yeah,
are your
I
choices.
mean,
Both of those are terrible choices.
we spent a lot of resources to get it, so I would like some
Yeah.
compensation for our trouble.
Yes.
I think
if possible.
I think usually how it goes is you're like, oh, this is a gesture of goodwill, and then they give you a gesture of goodwill back.
Yeah,
But
here's hoping.
I don't know if you want to
So you're
ask about that.
I mean,
your
I'm not
journey-
the one that should ask about that.
That's true.
your journey is getting you now to the southern border of the River Kingdoms, and you really do have a choice between Kainen and Galt. There is a trail on kind of both sides of the river that kind of go in various directions. This is the as it heads south down toward Absalom.
I think Kion and I have. Galt can be a bit tumultuous,
Yes.
even at the best of times. And while we might not have a warm reception from the elves of Kaonin, we can at least, well, fingers crossed, keep our heads.
Kaonin is stagnant. I really doubt anything's happened in 47 years. I mean, if anything, they'll be standoffish, but they'll let us through.
Hopefully, let us through. Yes.
So you're making your way south, and you're making your way through this kind of dense marshland, and you end up having to stop up the wagon because up ahead there's a log that has fallen in the path. So the only way to kind of get past here is to go out and
log.
move the log.
All right, let's head there. We'll have the old Drew to sort of watch the wagon.
I'll take some.
Yeah, be careful. This is the kind of thing that ends up being an ambush, so we should have more than just Oldrew even, keeping an eye out.
Exactly what I was thinking here.
We can leave Sev.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say.
wagon as well, and we'll just.
Sev and Oldrew will keep an eye on the wagon
Yes.
while the four of you go to move this log. And you make your way up and are kind of keeping an eye out. And can I get everyone to make me a perception check?
Would you mind
As
if
you're
I
getting into perception.
said I was stealthing as well?
If you want to kind of make your way up there, kind of in the reeds and the bushes, that's fine.
Yeah.
Says a 20.
19.
13 on perception. That's not so good. For stealth, equally terrible. I am just awful today.
It's okay. I apparently don't notice anything at all.
Sorry, that was a 19, a 20,
6.
a 6.
13 and 13 stealth.
Okay. So you're kind of focused on hiding in the bushes. You're looking back to make sure that the owlbear is following along, and he's a few paces behind you, getting all muddy. And but the two of you are keeping an eye out, and just as you're getting on either side of the log, that's when you see the swamp move. And what ends up happening is rising up out of the swamp. At first, you think it's just a small tuft of grass and mud, but it quickly rises up on top of the head of this hulking green-skinned thing. That the moment the water it's all like it's covered in swamp moss and water that's dripping off of it, and it comes rising up, and you can see that it has this long underslung jaw, lolling tongue that starts tasting the air, and two hands that end in viciously large-looking claws. Its green, warty skin blends into the environment. You almost didn't even see it until it started moving, but the moment it slithered up out of the swamp mush, you could get a better look at it. And if you could all place yourselves around the log here.
Oh, what? Why would we do that? Oh, you're in the bushes. Which way are we coming from?
You're coming from that way.
That way. Back here, I guess.
What could possibly go wrong?
All right. And,
Here. That's the wagon, maybe?
yeah, back there. Off to the right.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and put that guy
Oh
down.
no.
I don't like that guy.
This right?
Yep.
This right?
That's
This right?
my right.
Okay.
Yep. Whew. No. Whatever you had him at first is perfect, right near the wall.
We'll just push him off the table.
All right.
Call it good.
He comes rising up. He doesn't have weapons like the miniature does, but he is a big, hulking monster.
Yeah.
Can I get everyone to roll initiative, please? Perception for the lot of you, except for our elf buddy, who can roll Swiftthistle, who can roll stealth.
Okay. Under those circumstances, 26.
My die is going into timeout.
All right. 26. Yeah, I still haven't replaced your heart. All right.
23.
23.
Let's make that promise for season 2.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
what we
the thing
promised.
I'll definitely fix for season 2. Mikah, what do you got?
8. Just
Carina.
go right
17.
down here.
There we go.
What about Sev?
It's back at the wagon, but sure. It's going to be going right. All right. So, top of the order, Swiftthistle. You are in hiding. It does not appear to have seen you.
Wow.
Good stealthing, bro.
Out of curiosity, looking at it, does it look like it's about to kill someone, or does it look like it's like, "Hi, friends"?
It does not. It is licking its lips
All
and
right.
clacking its claws. Actually, it actually has seen you. Now that I think about it, your stealth is terrible. All right.
It really was. It was atrocious.
You went first, but that's only because you stumbled out of the swamp marsh.
I'm so stealthy.
Like you were
no
waving
one saw me.
flares around. All right, what do you do?
I'm going to Hunter's Market as my first action.
Okay.
Second action, I'm going to draw my bow because I think I would have had it out under these circumstances.
Yeah, you were going to move it. Yeah, you were suspicious of an ambush. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and aim 2 shots really quickly at this thing.
Sure.
This is going to be my flurry, so I make 2 shots. That's going to be...
It's the first time you've actually gotten to use your bow since you spent the entire first dungeon. Right?
Yes.
Close quarters.
Also, I
right.
rolled a 4, so it's not going to matter.
All right. Well, there is that. All right. Your arrow
buddy.
goes winging off into the swamp, never to be seen again.
All right, since this is part of my rapid shot, I make a second shot as part of the same action. That's a 3 on the dice, so it's equally useless.
Oh, good.
All right.
Nice.
Third shot, I'm going to use my third action. Hey, nat 20.
All right. Well, you had some tracer fire, I guess. All right. The first 2 went wide, and the third one goes right down the middle. Go ahead and calculate what that's going to be, though.
All right, that would
Because
be...
it may not be a hit, which means it won't be a critical hit. It'll just be a hit.
Let's go. So you want me to go ahead and roll just to see if it's critical?
No.
Okay.
Calculate out what the actual
Gotcha.
number was.
Then that would be a 23 to hit.
A 23, that's with the penalties for the extra attacks?
Yep.
All right, so that is going to be a hit, which means it will still upstage to a critical hit.
All right, nice. Well, then this thing is a deadly D10. So
right.
in addition to my normal die, I'll be adding a D10.
Yep.
And that is going to be 6 points of damage.
Was one of those double?
No, you're right. Thank you. 9 points of damage.
9, there we go. All right. Your arrow wings through and hits it right in the shoulder. It snarls in pain, but that does not look like it is slowing it down at all.
Usually I am way more accurate. Oh, hey.
I like how you're already explaining it to everyone else. Like, no, I'm really actually not bad at this.
I've had a desk job for 10 years.
Nicodemus.
Just to brush the dust off. Alrighty. Let's see here. 10, 15. I'm going to take a step forward, draw a flask of moderate alchemist fire.
Oh, boy.
matter of fact, and chuck that thing.
I am not interested.
Well, I'm just within the 20 feet.
Too bad.
I think. And that is an 18.
An
let that stand,
18 is going to miss.
Oh, no.
So it hits the rotten log behind it
Right.
and shatters and bursts. So it's still going to deal splash.
Which is 2.
2 points of fire damage?
Fire damage.
All right. So you moved, you drew.
Yep,
you threw.
that's me.
All right. You don't have quick draw, do you?
No.
Okay.
I was wondering when it was going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, friend.
Knew it was going to show up there somewhere.
They always show up in initiative.
All right, it's going to move up. Yeah. Right there. Yep, right there.
Right there. Okay.
It wants to be your
And that
friend.
is Carina, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's going to reach out with its terrifying jaws, and it's going to attempt to bite you.
Okay.
Armor class 19.
That is my armor class.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh, you did.
Didn't have time to get my shield up.
That's how they get you.
Take 17 points of damage.
Yikes!
Can you not?
Can you not? And
Excuse
then with
me.
its third and final action, it's going to swipe at you with a claw.
Of course it is.
But that's only a 14, so
Sweet.
that's going to miss.
Awesome.
So it swipes out with its claw. It does manage to bite you in the shoulder. Its jaw
Yikes.
enveloping like half your arm as its teeth tear and rip at your flesh, and it pulls away just like a chunk of your armor that it spits out, and a gob of flesh that it's like.
Oh my goodness.
Carina.
No.
I do not like this. I'm gonna take a hit at it. Thank you for moving up where I could reach it.
At least I could do.
Yeah.
He's thinking about our convenience.
Yeah, Karina kind of swears in Dwarven as the bite hits her, and then probably misses a 16.
16 is not going to
Yeah,
hit. Yeah, no, it's going to come up short.
Gonna have to do that again. So that is a 23 to hit.
23 with the penalty?
It's a -4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or, well, -5. Unless it's an agile weapon.
It is not an agile weapon, so that is a 22.
22 will hit.
Sweet.
Go ahead and deal damage.
So 6 plus. So that's going to be 10 points of damage.
Nice.
And third action, raise my shield.
All right. So you swipe at it twice and get your shield up to protect yourself. It grunts in pain at those hits, but it doesn't look like that's really slowing it down too much. Sev, way in the background, will probably do Inspired Courage after moving. She's going to move off the wagon. That's fine. You can actually, sorry, here she is. You can leave
sweet.
that mini there and move Sev up to near the owlbear cub. We'll move up to there, we'll Inspire Courage, and we'll draw her rapier. So everybody's at a +1 to hit.
Great.
Nice.
Okay, that is Sev. Mikah.
Don't forget your +1s. I'm going to, let's see. 10. Okay, so I'm in range, so I'm going to try a Ray of Enfeeblement. Let's see, I'm going to use the die that is not in timeout.
Fair enough.
But now I probably just scared this one, so it's like, yep, 16.
16 is going to miss.
Here's that for
There it
you.
is.
Okay.
Looks like you're bribing the GM from
I know.
Here, have some cash.
Yeah.
Does my friend, the sign of the open road, say anything to you about that? It'd be easier if it was a Fumbus coin.
He does indeed.
Okay, let's see if that was worth it. Yay! Okay, so that's an
Nice.
18 on the die, so 27.
27 is a success.
Woo! Okay. So now
All right.
you make a fort save.
Yep, I do. So I'm going to succeed, but not critically succeed. So I am enfeebled 1.
Yep.
All right.
And
Enfeebled 1. No. A penalty on my strength checks and damage rolls. You monster.
I learned it from watching you.
It's fair. My
And
benevolence is spreading.
let's see. So that was 2 actions, but I don't really have anything good that I can do with the last one.
Now it's
So I'm gonna.
shield up.
I could, but I'm.
Or you can move.
Yeah, I think I'll move instead because But I'm not gonna get too close.
All right.
close.
We go to the top of the order, Swiftthistle.
All right. Well, I'm feeling pretty inspired. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a whole bunch of arrows into this thing. But what I'm actually going to do is roll a bunch of nat ones and start crying to myself. Here we go.
You don't know that. You don't know that yet. Yeah.
Everybody get ready for tears. All right, yeah.
So 3 attack actions, just rapid fire. But the first one is 2 shots because it's 100 shots. So here we go.
A whole lot of arrows.
Plus 10 is 15.
Miss.
All right. Plus 7 is 13.
That die does have more numbers on it. No, it's not one of those old, like, 1 to 10 only D20s, is it?
No, it's actually just that bad.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Ooh, a 15. So that's going to be a 19?
Is that with the +1 from Inspired
Yes.
Courage? Miss.
Keep rolling. All right. 18 on the dice, so 24 this time. Oh,
That one will.
21.
That one will.
Hooray!
Hit.
Wow. Okay. Well, I am going to just attempt to, validate myself as a viable combatant here.
You're doing great, buddy.
Come on, just roll a 1 or a 2 so we can make this extra funny. It's an 8 on the dice. Okay, I hit it for 8 damage.
8.
Woo!
No damage bonus. All right. 20. All right.
All right. Well, I pretty much did exactly what I said was going to happen.
That was pretty good.
But
you
you
actually hit
got
the
him
last one,
once.
though.
I
So
did.
look at that.
I'm contributing.
Nicodemus,
I'm
arrows are
boy.
flying through the air everywhere. It's like a swarm of angry gnats.
Is there a whole army behind me? Oh, that's just you, Lieutenant
go.
Swiftthistle.
Well, it is a whole army that cannot roll well.
The stormtroopers.
It happens. It
Oh
happens.
no.
Oh, bombs. Why do you do splash damage?
Yeah.
But I'll probably just miss.
Oh, hey, buddy. It's only funny
Maybe
when
I'll
one of us
just
is
cauterize
accepting
the wound in my shoulders.
Healing somehow.
That's not the word we're
It
using.
burns so nicely.
You know what I'm gonna do though? I need to check. I think I'm gonna take a step back.
I should note the couple areas where the fire hit it. Its flesh, despite being like glistening and moist from the swamp water, like caught flame where it hit, and it kind of screamed and yowled and kind of doused it as quickly as it could.
I want to do. All right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna pull out take a step back, draw that moderate alchemist fire, and throw it.
All right.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Oh, hey.
Thank you.
But actually, if I miss, you don't take damage.
Oh,
But
He's
I
trying.
really want to do good better. Plus 26, actually.
Hit.
Okay.
Woot.
Not a critical hit, but a hit.
Not a critical hit. You take 2
It's good for our group right now.
splash,
okay.
and then he takes 2d8.
Oh.
That is 7 fire damage and 2 persistent fire damage.
Ooh.
So he on fire now.
This troll is on fire. I don't know if it's a troll or not.
What?
You never know.
I'm not 100% sure.
It roars in pain as the fires start licking its flesh, and it starts kind of panicking.
So does Carina.
It is going to spend 1 action trying to put out the flames,
All right.
because it is now its turn.
Sure.
And it is going to fail. And then in its howl of rage, it's going to attempt to bite Carina again. Armor class 20.
No, that's a miss.
Yeah.
Because I put my shield up.
Curses.
Nice.
And with its third action, it's going to try and put itself out again. Come on.
That's what it says.
It's so cathartic knowing you're rolling poorly, too.
Well, it's not the easiest roll to make, but it is still worth trying. So the fires continue to spread, and it continues to like flame up whenever it kind of like whenever the fires sear up its flesh, it like bursts and you see more fire, and it's like it's crying out in agony. But it is still up. Carina,
I'm going to hit it with my axe. And
well,
then,
that is one way to solve the problem.
That's probably not going to hit. That's a 15.
No.
Okay, let's try that
Not
again.
gonna do it.
That is going to be a 16.
A 16 will not hit.
Shoot. Well, then I'm going to put my shield up.
Yeah, so you swing wildly at it, but the flames and the smoke are actually making it kind of hard to hit. I'm sure that's the reason. Sev, in the background, is going to Oh, yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Let me double check.
No, not that.
Yes, that.
Oh.
Let me just double check to make sure I remember.
Are you still gonna keep using that dice?
Yeah.
You don't. He doesn't have another set.
Oh.
No, actually, I do have 2 d20s. It's just
Oh, do you?
I figure eventually I'll get through all of the bad luck, and then eventually it'll be an upturn.
That definitely works.
You think that, but
I'm switching my dice.
The law of
Seb is
averages.
going to play her flute in such a way that, Carina, you feel your wounds
Ooh.
closing up, regain 10 hit
nice.
points,
Oh,
Wow.
very nice.
and then she's going to inspire courage again.
sweet.
And that is Sabrina's turn. Micah.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I haven't used a heightened spell yet, so I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I have burning hands
Yeah.
at level 1, but that means it's heightened +1, so I can raise it twice. Is that right?
Well, so you have second level spell slots. So you, instead of casting it as a first level spell,
Yeah.
you could prepare it
yeah.
and cast it as a second level spell. Have you prepared and cast it as a second level spell?
No.
Then you
So I
cannot
can't.
cast it.
Okay.
So during your daily preparations,
Yeah.
if you were spontaneous and you knew both versions, you could just cast it at whichever version you
Okay.
wanted. But during your daily preparations, you can choose to put
Right.
Burning Hands in a second level spell slot,
Right.
which means instead of doing like 2d6, I think it
It's
increases
just
to
an extra d6.
so it increases
Yeah.
to 3d6.
Gotcha.
But you have to put it in a second level spell slot.
So you have to prepare it heightened.
You have to prepare it at a higher
Okay,
level.
yeah.
Spontaneous casters do get a chance to know spells
Mm-hmm.
at various levels, which means they can just decide to cast it at higher levels. But generally speaking, you have to
Okay.
make that choice, make those decisions.
Gotcha. Okay.
So in this case, if you have Burning Hands prepared, you could still cast it, but it's just
Yeah.
going to be the regular
Yeah,
version.
Okay. Well, then I'll do the regular version, I guess. Let's see. So it's a 15-foot cone. Can I kind of angle it so it doesn't hit anybody?
Yeah, so it doesn't hit
Still
me?
get hit?
That'd be great
Yeah.
if it doesn't hit me.
I think you gotta maybe
Although
You're going to have to
okay.
step.
step right
I
here.
can probably take it.
Nah.
No,
don't
I'd
need to, you
rather
don't need
not
to.
hit you with it. I mean, someone else.
I mean,
already
yeah, I
did.
was just gonna.
All right, so I get to make a reflex save.
Let's see. Yes,
times.
basic reflex.
So I'm going to get a 25, which I'm pretty sure is going to make it, but it's not going to crit make it. So I'm going to take half damage.
Yes, I think so.
So go ahead and roll
2d6.
2d6. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh, dang it.
It's okay.
I'll
It was a
find that
D12.
later.
It's a D12. You
Yeah.
were never going to use it
I
anyways.
don't need it. Alrighty. Boop. Okay, so that's 5.
No, 5 total.
Yeah.
So halved.
A fire.
That was not as
2.
effective as I thought it
But
would
the
be.
fire washes over it, and it cries out in pain. That looks like it hurt it a lot more than you thought.
Good.
That was Mikah. Swiftthistle.
Second verse, same as the first. 4 attacks, probably 3 misses.
You got it this time, my friend.
It's a plus 10 modifier.
It's gonna-
You have to think positively and focus that positive energy into your dice.
All right, here we
Also,
go.
aim positively.
Let's try being positive here. That's a 9, so a 19 on the first one.
Miss.
Didn't think so. All right, second one. This is going to be at, oh, that's a nat 1. Doesn't even matter. All right, third attack. Hey, it's a 16 plus 420.
Hit.
Hey.
One hit for the round.
That's ecstatic.
It's always the last one.
Right, 6 damage. And then actually, because I was doing...
Oh, that's right, you get one
so
more.
one more. So this one is at plus 4 as well. It's another nat 1. I
Well.
contributed for the round. I did my part.
For those of you watching at home, please donate your well-rolling dice to Lieutenant Swiftthistle, care of Paizo Inc. All right, moving on.
It's okay, buddy.
I'm just saying, like, between me and the other last wall guards, no wonder it fell.
Too soon. Kind of. Nicodemus, it is your turn.
Oh, yes.
More,
yes, it is.
another swarm of arrows pass overhead, like angry.
That's why I'm missing. I keep having to like,
these arrows.
focus on the arrows flying above my head.
And just like gnats, they are easily dismissed. All right.
Oh, no.
It's my subtlety. It's the elven subtlety.
Is this troll standing in swampy water by any
Yes.
chance? Okay.
About
I
a
can't-
foot of it.
I can't do that then. I'm going to.
Lightning bomb.
I was gonna try to tanglefoot it, but I think I'm just gonna move around here. So try to pull through this brush here, and probably take 2 moves to get to let's say here.
All right.
And I will draw my sword cane.
Okay. So you're gonna move around and draw.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet I could probably actually get here.
All right. It goes. Still raging flames about it. It is going to attempt to claw Carina. But it's going to miss. It's going to try again. And is armor class 23.
That will hit.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Take 19 points of damage from the claws. It just rips out a piece of you. Blood goes spraying through the swamp. The angry, hungry midges are momentarily sated.
What about my arrows?
Sorry about that. And with its third action, it's once again going to... Well, let's see. It got a free attempt to put itself out at the end of its last turn and failed. So it's going to attempt to put itself out again with its third action. And it's going to fail again, so it's going to take another 2.
That's right. Remember, Professor Nicodemus Thorn's alchemist fire. It can't be put out.
Yay!
Get yours today.
He could probably put it out automatically if he just dove into the swamp,
Yes.
but he's not doing that. He is like really burnt and scorching now, and he really wishes he could activate his regeneration. Okay, let's see if it goes out. It does.
Oh no.
After 5 rolls, it finally extinguishes. The alchemist fire goes out after all of his frantic patting and attempts. That is the end of the swamp monster's turn. Carina,
Yeah. Okay.
it is your turn.
All right.
Some sort of swamp thing.
That is
Kind of. Yeah,
kidding
sure.
me.
Let's go.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
17.
Try this dice.
Not going to hit.
That is going to be a 11 plus. It's going to be a 18 to hit.
I like how you're like, no, it doesn't hit. No.
I'm gonna put my shield up then.
All right. You swing wildly back and forth a few times, but you do not manage to connect. You and this troll continue to swipe at each other as best you can. Severina is going to inspire courage again, and then is going to... Oh, boy. That's a bad situation. With her other 2 actions, we'll cast Soothe on Carina again.
Thanks.
Regain another 9 hit points.
Nice.
Mikah.
Well, let's see. Okay. I'm going to use a cantrip
Okay.
for Produce Flame.
Oh, no.
Oh no! I mean, that's
I
good.
do not want.
That's
so
what I
thank you.
wanted. That's a good
You
reaction.
finally got the fire to go away.
Yeah. Okay, so make a spell attack roll.
Yep.
Do. Come on, dice. That's not what I wanted. That's not one.
Oh boy.
That is going to have no effect. Oh, another.
Oh, wow.
Another
Bribing the
point.
GM
all
so
right.
much.
I
Yeah.
know, so many bribes. Also, I need to maybe not roll this on the maps because it's a heavy die. That is not that much better. That's a 14, which will not.
All right, your
anything.
gobble flame goes flying overhead. The smoke just nearly singes the tangled mat of swampy hair on its head, but it ducks and it misses.
I don't like it.
Swiftthistle,
Well,
summon to me your army of gnats.
all right, here we go. Death by 1,000 missed arrows. All right, first one is 18, so 28 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a critical?
No.
Well, all right, so I'll roll damage for that. That will be 3 points of damage. Second shot's a nat 1. Third shot, hey, there we go. 18.
Total.
Miss.
Doesn't even matter.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
18, that was an 18 total, right?
Yes, yeah. What?
All right, another swarm of arrows pass overhead. One finds the mark. It's par for the course. And your turn is over. Nicodemus.
How are you doing, Karina?
Oh, I'm fine. This is my role. Is to
Okay.
soak damage while you guys take it out.
I will burn it again then.
I'm not doing my
I'm
job
gonna
very
then-
well. You might be in trouble.
Step back.
Just picturing
Draw
you
that
like just singed.
One more alchemist fire and
It's okay.
toss it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I think I'd be dead without Sev's healing, so keep that
Is
in
it
mind.
worth
I think that's
spending
a
point
reasonable
on
thought.
that? Yes.
Do it! Yay!
Do it.
All right.
Getting rich over here.
I know.
Yeah,
My
let's
wealth
get richer.
grows.
Oh, that was way worse.
No!
Hooray! Take 2 splash
Take
damage.
2.
You don't take anything.
The fires lick at it and it cries out in pain once again. Oh, it is somehow still up, but
Somehow.
doing
Somehow.
fire damage to it. So in a at least it's not actively burning right at the moment.
Yeah.
It is going to claw at Karina again. Armor class 26.
That is above my armor class. I'm laying out all my lucky dice
Did
here.
you? No, good call.
Take 15 points of damage.
Ouch.
Do you have your shield up?
Yeah.
It swipes at you with a claw again.
Okay. I'm getting my calculator out here to make sure that
23.
that is above my armor class.
10 points of damage.
Let me total this up here to make sure I'm not dead.
I would also block with your shield if you had
Okay,
that.
what was this one?
The second one was 10.
Okay.
And with its third action, because it hit you twice with claws, it does not roll an attack roll, it just rends you. So it hit with one claw, it hit with the second claw, and once it had you, it just tears
Yeah. Okay.
you limb from limb, dealing automatic damage. Take another 15 points of damage.
Wowzers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh wow, that was a number.
So that wasn't
That was a
crit or anything.
negative number.
It
Sure
wasn't a
was.
crit or anything, so you drop to 0.
Okay.
And you are now dying 1.
All right.
And after doing so, it just discards you, tossing you into the swamp, and then turns its baleful gaze
This is your fault.
on Nicodemus.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
staring
that's
at you.
Producer of fire.
It is covered in burns and scorch marks,
Nice.
like its flesh is just torn and ashen all over the place, and just like in spots you can even see its bones. So much of its flesh is burned away, and it just looks at you with a cold, dull hatred. Karina, your initiative
Dying.
actually moves to right before
Yeah.
it, so you
Okay.
don't have to worry about going right now.
All right.
Severina is going to inspire courage, and then is going to burn her. Let's see. Yeah, she is going to attempt to cast. Where's she at? Right there. That's too dangerous. Okay. Yeah, she couldn't do it. She'd end up having to stand there for a round, in which case she'd just get ripped limb from limb. So here's what she's going to do. Karina, you are about to get hit points back.
Oh.
So
Woot.
regain 6.
Oh,
So
nice.
you're now at 6 hit points.
Okay.
And you lose the dying condition.
Yay! I didn't even have time to look it up.
Yeah. And instead gain the wounded condition.
Okay. Oh.
What that means is the next time you go down, you will automatically increase your dying condition by 1.
Okay.
So it means
2.
that you get closer to dead faster.
Yeah. All right.
But you did fall unconscious and were tossed in the swamp. So you are prone. Your weapon is not readied. You're in kind of a bad spot right now.
Right. But I have 6 hit points,
Yeah, and you have exactly 6 hit points.
and I am not dying anymore.
Correct.
Currently.
That's good.
Micah,
Hello.
it is your turn.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my trusty magic missile. Because
It's a good
that's
spell.
always good.
All 3?
Yep. All
right.
3. I don't need to move, so might as well sneak in some extra damage if
Blast
I
it.
can. Shoot! Ah! Okay. Let's see. Oh, that one's kind of. Okay. Oh, that was kind of sad. I've got 4.
One.
But it's
So-
plus 3, right? So 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So its like ashen claws are just starting to reach out towards you, and just like 3 missiles slam into it, and it just slumps. It just falls right down into the swamp, collapses down into the muck, just sitting there smoking. Its corpse slowly crumbling away to ash as the last of the fire magic burns away its rotten flesh.
Mikah, you saved us.
I will sprint up to Carina and make sure that she hasn't gone to meet her god yet.
Well, I'm currently praying and getting my 6 hit points from myself back, so I'm at 12 now. And that takes away my wounded condition, according to the card for wounded, right? And it ends when someone restores hit points to you. Oh, with treat wounds.
Yeah.
That's okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
You can certainly take care of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So in the aftermath of the fight, you're able to kind of get this nasty troll out of the way. You find that on its belt pouch, it does have a gross, like, fur belt around its waist, and on that it has a sack. And in the sack, in addition to a number of chunks of rotting meat, like there's an entire goat head in here.
Oh,
That was
Nice.
saving for later.
Oh, yeah.
apparently.
But the owl bear.
Yep.
Oh, hey.
He gets a special treat.
Oh, yeah, yummy, yummy. No one's even eaten the eyes
I
yet.
know. Best part.
There is also a small ring in here that's still on a finger.
No.
Oh, no.
Little dessert.
Take the ring off first. Though.
And a willow stick.
Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has silver banding on it.
Fancy.
Is it a wand?
Probably.
Okay.
So, you're able to kind of get everyone back up, and the wounded condition is easily dealt with
I'll do
a
some
medicine check.
Some medicine. I'll give you some healing elixirs. You can do your
Yeah.
I get the feeling that some of us can move the log while others kind
Spend
of
some
rest for a
time.
little bit.
Oh yeah, there's a log here.
Unsurprisingly, it looks like this log was dropped here specifically to make travelers stop so the troll could eat them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a clever troll.
Yeah, and in fact, under one end of it, you find the remains of whoever was wearing that ring,
Oh
who's been feasted upon. So,
Lovely.
you're able to move it and
Cool.
continue on your way.
Yeah. Okay.
How did our new horse deal with that? Watching that encounter.
You get back and the new horse was asleep.
no. It needs the rest.
Man.
Oh, poor Bright
Bright
Steed.
Steed.
Yeah.
Poor
We'll
Bright
just
Steed.
tack on another year of therapy for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at this point in time, that's almost tame.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Kid's
they
like,
don't.
that was awesome.
I feel like the Galarian equivalent of going to therapy is becoming an adventurer. So they're just on their way.
Working through some stuff afterwards. Yeah.
It's a backstory.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. It is.
All right. So, you're able to kind of move this out of the way and continue on your journey. You still have another day before you find a ferry. You travel kind of further through the swamp. Carina, you're able to get fully back up to full health. And after about a day, you reach a point where you're pretty sure you're running out of river kingdoms to be in. But you do see a spot where this trail clearly leads to a ferry head that travels back and forth across the Selin here. And after waiting for a bit, there is a ferry barge on the other side that makes its way across after they see you. And are willing to ferry you across for a modest fee of only a few silver. The ferry captain, the ferry runner, it's not much of a captain when all you do is go back and forth, is Elvin.
Okay.
And as you're making your way across, he kind of looks at you and gives a nod.
I'll smile and nod.
But he informs the rest of you that you are allowed to travel on the path that follows the Selin, but without leave you are not allowed into our wood. You must stay on that path. Violators will be treated as trespassers. You should be aware of this. He speaks plainly and curtly in the common tongue.
Thank you for the warning.
Does it matter that we have an elf with us?
He looks at you. My brethren here may enter at his leave, but he cannot grant you permission.
Sure.
For that you should travel, if you wish to visit with the Elven Court, you should travel to Greengold. There you may meet with a representative who will perhaps, if your need is great, give you leave to visit further in. This elf is middle-aged man. Just looks like he's the ferry captain, just telling you the rules.
Sure thing.
He's like, you will no doubt be able to join the long line of travelers heading south. A very large group passed here just yesterday.
Are you aware of the situation up north?
He looks at you with kind of a dead seriousness. Oh, yes. We are all aware of the terror that has come to our door.
Anybody interested in these crowds of people? Besides us.
Of course.
I heard rumor that the last group contained the Watcher Lord and his retinue. From that place that was Last Wall.
So the Vanguard, essentially?
I'm not sure you could call it that now. I'm no military man, I'm not sure. But it was a large group of knights making their way south.
I see.
It was just yesterday.
Well, you're not too far behind your commander.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like,
We could catch up.
how do you know how fast they were moving? Like,
He shrugs. I am no master of horse, I'm afraid.
Well, we can make all
But they were not
attempts.
exactly fast moving. It was
sure.
a large company.
Well, maybe we can catch up with them.
I suspect so.
You disembark the ferry on the Kayanan side, and there is clearly a marked trail that leads kind of along the Selen on the Kayanan border that allows travelers and merchants to make their way through these lands without venturing into the Elven Wood, which is kept kind of a nice distance away. And the moment you get there, you can clearly see signs that a large host has been this way. There is the nicely maintained path, but all around it there is just a sign of devastation as dozens of horses have made their way this way. And you're able to follow this trail without too much trouble. After about another day, you have to continue moving. You're close. You know you're getting close, but you just haven't caught up to them yet. You end up camping again. The signs seem even more recent, right? And by signs, I mostly mean like horse manure and broken down camps. You come across their camp after only about an hour or so of travel. And as you make your way forward, you approach a rise. And reaching the top of this rise, you look down over a valley. And there in the center of that valley, you can see a large number of horses and men making their way south. And even from here, you can see the wavering banners of the symbol of Last Wall. And it is at that moment that the key grows blindingly cold. So cold that you feel your flesh burning through the pocket, through the clothing that you're wearing it in. Your flesh is searing. The moment you even remotely see them, it begins to, you can see a frost aura starting to emerge from it. And in that moment, Carina and Mikah both vanish. A black opening opens up at her waist, and Mikah is pulled into immediately. Carina looks to it and is sucked through it like just a vacuum, pulls her through, and in that moment there is a black doorway standing open, and somewhere through it, through this gray, darkened realm, you see in the far distance some bone-white keep, and the two of them have been pulled through it. What do the two of you do?
Lieutenant, we must save them. Yes, step through.
Okay.
Let's go.
Reinforcements?
Tell him to go in first.
As you're doing this, you're watching and it's starting to close.
There's no time.
I swear an Elven and jump in.
Yes, I'll step behind.
And that is where we are ending today's session. I want to thank you for watching this session of Oblivion Oath, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Help us.
What happened?
It is completely dark. You cannot see a single thing. There seems to be no light, nothing around you except for your own silent footfalls on a stone floor.
Used to be able to make light. I'll try that.
You reach inside yourself and attempt to pull out the magic to create light. And for the briefest of moments, there is a glimmer, a faint spark, but it quickly fades, leaving you once again in darkness. And even that spark illuminated nothing at all.
No pickles, no magic. Knight of Last Wall? Can you hear me?
You call out into the gloom and hear nothing in return.
Can anyone hear me?
Not even an echo answers.
Quandle Whitemane? Think I'm lost. But if I'm lost here, then I don't want to stay here. So I need to go on. Just standing here won't make anything better.
You begin to walk, but nothing seems to change. This goes on for some time. You neither grow tired nor hungry, thirsty nor sleepy. Altogether, you are aware that something has changed. Far off in the distance, there appears to be a faint green flicker. Not a steady light, a flickering, uneven light.
Flickering means fire, and fire can be good or fire can be bad, but I'm in the darkness. I'll go to the fire, even if it's a green fire.
As you draw nearer to it, it draws nearer to you, and it seems to come upon you much faster than you would have thought. And as it does so, you see that it is from a lantern being held aloft by a form. That form appears to be little more than a skeleton, wearing naught but tattered rags. Its body ends about at the waist. Its hips and legs just trail off into mist and vapor. Its skull is missing its jaw.
Lamplighter?
The figure marches up to you, holding the lantern.
I'm Quandle Whitemane, and I don't know where I am.
Without a jaw, or even a tongue or lips to speak, a voice echoes from the figure. I am the Seneschal.
The Seneschal of what?
The prison. You must speak with the master.
How?
Come with me. I will take you to him.
Yes, Seneschal.
With that, the Seneschal nods and turns to go. The Seneschal escorts you through the darkness. The only light is its pale green lantern. And he eventually arrives at a set of stairs that go up into the darkness.